Shalom, shalom. This is Kapaya, aka Pops out GMS Chicago, with another sit down. Before I get started, though, like always, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, the elder bishops out of Connecticut. I send double honors because they do well. For the brethren around the world, pushing this truth uncut, unfiltered, giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly of the scriptures, correctly breaking down the prophecies and interaction with the people on the planet. Send a hearty shalom. But hopefully, like to hope this is edifying for the Aquas, the fear and the truth. There's listeners to say the chair to keep doing so, but for the scorners call for reprobate, 2/3 Israelites and 17 other nations in the midst of Jacob's trouble, it is getting worse. And like I said, I saw this. This was in a feed. When I saw it, it had only 3 people had seen it. You see, it's only 7 minutes ago, and at the went, you see how the numbers are jumping. So I'm gonna let this play through, and I'm gonna put some scriptures to it. It's about 11 minutes long or whatnot. I haven't even got a chance to listen to it all the way through. I bagged it back up so I can start from the beginning, and I'm gonna let y'all hear it as I'm hearing it. After about 3 minutes, it'll be 2 minutes. It'll be what I'm hearing firsthand with you all in the same time. So here we go.
The war between the United States and Iran is now entering a dangerous new phase, with the conflict spreading across West Asia and casualties mounting rapidly. A week after Washington and Tel Aviv launched their attacks on Iran, the scale of the military campaign is expanding both on land and at sea. The Iran wave of intense bombing struck the capital Tehran on Saturday. According to reports, over 1,300 people have now been killed in the U.S.-Israeli strikes. The U.S. military's Central Command says it has already targeted more than 3,000 sites across Iran since February 28th, including military facilities and naval assets. Washington claims 43 Iranian warships have been destroyed so far, but the war is no longer confined to Iran. President Trump put out on True Social, and I quote, "Iran, which is being beat to hell, has apologized and surrendered to its West Asian neighbors and promised that it will not shoot at them anymore." This promise was only made because of the relentless U.S. and Israeli attack. They are looking to take over and lead West Asia. It is the first time that Iran has ever lost in thousands of years to surrounding Middle Eastern countries. I've said, thank you, Mr. President Trump.
If you are locked up at any Illinois juvenile detention center, such as Cook County,
to surrounding Middle Eastern countries. I've said, thank you, Mr. President Trump. I've said, you're welcome. Iran is no longer the belly of West Asia. The war is now spinning across the entire Gulf region. Qatar, Kuwait, and the UAE have all reported incoming Iranian missile drones. Qatar says its air defense systems intercepted 9 out of 10 drones fired towards its territory. Saudi Arabia has also reported intercepting drones near its capital Riyadh. In fact, the disruption is already being felt. Kuwait has begun cutting production at some oil fields after storage facilities filled up amid export uncertainty. Meanwhile, Iran is warning that the conflict could expand even further. Tehran says the Strait of Hormuz remains open, and has warned that any US or Israeli ships passing through will become targets. Iran has also warned European countries that they could become legitimate targets if they join the war. At the same time, geopolitics is shifting fast. Russia has expressed support for Iran, with President Vladimir Putin speaking to Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian and offering condolences for the deaths, including that of the supreme leader. US officials also claim Moscow is providing Tehran with intelligence on American military positions. In Israel, Iranian missile and drone attacks continue to trigger air raid sirens in Tel Aviv, northern Israel, and the Negev desert. In Lebanon, Hezbollah has fired rockets into northern Israel, while Israeli airstrikes have hit towns in southern and eastern Lebanon. Lebanon's health ministry says Israeli strikes on eastern towns killed 41 people. 217 people have been killed all over Lebanon since the attacks began. The fighting is also causing a growing humanitarian crisis, with residents fleeing areas including Tyre and Beirut southern suburbs. Hezbollah tells residents of northern Israeli city Kiryat Shimona to evacuate immediately and head south. Israel Defense Minister has warned Israel has no territorial claims against Lebanon, but will act against threats originating from that country. Schools in Beirut are now being used as emergency shelters, and the security threats are spreading even farther. In Iraqi Kurdistan, a drone attack struck a hotel in Erbil after warnings that Iran-aligned groups could target locations used by foreigners. Dr. Hamid Reza Golamzadeh is the Secretary General of the Asian Mayors Forum and political analyst is now joining us live from Tehran. Golamzadeh, thank you very much for your time and welcome to the broadcast. According to President Trump, he says that Iranian military forces, specifically its Navy and Air Force, have been destroyed following the US-led military strikes in Iran. What, in your view, is holding Iran back?
Let's first see how truthful and trustworthy President Trump is. And this week he said that Iran has 34 or something like that of ships and vessels in its navy. And now he claims to have destroyed more than 40 of them. So 33 out of 34. And at the beginning of the war, he said that they had destroyed 85% of the missile launchers of Iran. Then we decreased it into 77%, and then 44 or 47% of the launchers have been destroyed. So apparently, he is stepping back and back and back on every position that he takes. So we cannot rely on Trump whatever he says. The point is that Iran has still remained strong.
Okay, so this is the person that's supposedly over there, and he said he's got to step back from whatever President Trump is saying because the numbers aren't adding up. And him being who he is and what he is, as y'all can see, we know that they like to fabricate numbers, considering some of the biggest hoaxes that they have perpetrated on the world that they still want to get what we gonna call it reparations for, or whatever the case it might be, and this, that, and the other. So let's let them finish.
And we remain strong because we have a very considerable stockpile of missiles in different types and claims. So that the strategy, so the strategy that we don't have taken for the past week is to do damage and destroy the American assets, the defensive capabilities that we have. And after that, the next step would be using missiles in order to destroy the assets and the bases, especially in for the Israeli regime, and also everywhere that is used in the neighboring countries, like the Arab countries in the Persian Gulf, and by the Americans and the Israelis, and to target them. So everyone who is helping this attack needs to be targeted from the limits. And he was trying to first of all distance the Arab countries from the Americans and do not allow them to.
You see what he said? He said everybody that's in this, that basically is going against the Israelis, needs to be targeted. So we know what slant or what view and perception this is coming from in the process. But let's let it play.
Use these lands against Iran, and then it will be targeting the Israelis. So the same way that the north or Lebanon is targeting them. So the equation here in the region is, we can say, complicated and multi-dimensional.
Wait, if you were locked up in Illinois juvie at Cook County,
Okay, so now my question would be this. It says, you just saw the flash, it said Israeli kills 200 people in Lebanon. How is Lebanon being dragged into this? Huh?
Audi home or anywhere else in the system, this is the money.
We can say complicated and multi-dimensional. It's not just about Iran, United States, or Iran and Israeli regime. It's about the whole resistance front and the own oppressors, like the Zionist state, actually Canada. So if the attacks against Hezbollah continues, the resistance groups in Iraq have said that they will target American assets in Iraq, and Iran is supporting Hezbollah in Lebanon, in southern Lebanon, and actually Hezbollah is carrying out the attacks in support of Iran. So all of them are somehow connected to one another, and all of them is against the Epstein Files group in the Zionist regime of Israel and the American regime. So it's going to get more complicated despite what the Americans are claiming. The war has yet to begin, and has been actually the offensive has been just paving the ground for further attacks, and the main attacks are to come in the future.
Mr. Golamzadeh, let's shift focus and talk about something else that is also worrying. The funeral of the late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has been postponed twice. Why is there a delay in his funeral? What is Iran planning?
The ceremony means some logistics for the massive ceremony because it is estimated that millions of people will go to Tehran. Tehran already has 10 million residents, and usually during the day, up to 15 million people come to Tehran, and in total are in Tehran during the day time, usually. And for such a festival, many people would come from other cities to Tehran as well. So it means that we'll be expecting 20 millions of people in Tehran. So logistics, everything being services to them is a huge challenge and needs a lot of preparation. And of course, security of them is a consideration as well, because we are facing an enemy which is targeting every place. It's targeting mosques, it's targeting schools, it's targeting houses, it's targeting sports areas, it's targeting everywhere. And the war, Secretary of War of the United States has said there is no regulations in this war, and they are attacking everywhere. The same way that they killed hundreds of students in school on the first day, the same way that killed dozens of Navy forces in a ship which was coming back from its relief from India, and it was actually far away from the war zone, and they killed them. So they are killing everyone. They are attacking the residential buildings, they are attacking houses. So with that consideration, Iran needs to take actually take into concern and to be actually protecting its people, of course. So with the
Dr. Golamzadeh, lastly and very quickly, why is the council taking time to name a new successor to Ali Khamenei? Because the name Mojtaba has been doing the rounds for at least a week now.
So I would say that it seems security again is one concern, both for the head of the assembly and of course for the members of the assembly. So appointing the next leader is a big issue, and it needs a lot of discussion. It's actually a really expert discussion which needs to take place. And so because of that, it seems that they need a little more time to make a decision. There are some news officially on the news that they have reached the concession, they have reached the route of the son of Ayatollah Khamenei, and Mr. Mustafa Khamenei, as you mentioned. But we cannot make sure, and we need to wait and wait for the official announcement of that. I think it would be announced very soon.
All right, I will talk.
Okay, so we see what he had to say, them and that little crew, and this, that, and the other. So I'm gonna put a scripture on that, and then maybe go to something else. So if those are the people that's supposed to be over there, if those Israelis are the people that's supposed to be over there, then why is this Jeremiah 33? I'm gonna start at 9. Isn't being fulfilled? Okay, because they got that in the Bedford back in 1948, right? when those people, when the people that's supposed to be there go there, then this is what the scripture says will be going on in the process. Let me take this. Let me go over here to Jeremiah real quick. Let's see what we got. 33. 33. I'm going to start at about 9 and read through a little bit. Start at about 9 and read through a little bit. Jeremiah 33 and 9. And it shall be to me a name of joy, of praise, and honor before all the nations of the earth. How can it be that? How can it be that? And whatnot. If you can hear that in the background, I apologize and whatnot. Okay. But it says, and it shall be to me a name of joy, of praise, and honorable for all the nations of the earth, which shall hear all the good that I do unto them, and they shall fear and tremble for all the goodness and for all the prosperity that I procure unto it. So now, how is it that they can be, that they not getting this kind of thus says for the prosperity that I will procure unto it. Thus says Yahweh again, there shall be heard in this place which ye shall say, what ye say shall be desolate without man and without beast, even in the cities of Judah, in the streets of Jerusalem that are desolate without man and without inhabitant and without beast. And like I said, those people over there can't grow anything. Why they got to import everything? Why is it? Because that was the Fertile Crescent, and when the real inhabitants of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, returned to that land is supposed to be plentiful. But we seeing that they in uproar and a war. So how can they claim to be the people then? The voice of joy and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, uh, the voice of them that shall say, praise Yahweh of hosts, for Yahweh is good, for his mercy endureth forever, and of them that shall bring the sacrifice of praise into the house of Yahweh, for I will cause to return the captivity of the land, as at the first says Yahweh. So when the Davidic kingdom is going to be set up, David and then Solomon had total peace, okay? And it's going to be total peace again when Yahweh Shai winds up over there. So where is their King David? Where is they King David? And where's Yahweh Shai in the midst of those people? Because it's supposed to be at peace. So that's how we know that those are not the people that are over there. Thus says Yahweh of hosts again, in this place which is desolate without man and without beast, because they going to catch a nuke as well, which is desolate without man and without beast, and in all the cities thereof shall be a habitation of shepherds causing their flocks to lie down. In the cities of the mountains and in the cities of the valleys and in the cities of the south, in the land of Benjamin and in the place about Jerusalem and in the cities of Judah shall the flocks pass again under the hands of him that telleth them, says Yahweh. Behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that I will perform that good thing which I have promised unto the house of Israel and unto the house of Judah. Does that look like it's a good thing that's over there right now? So that's how I said. That's how you know these are not the people that's supposed to be there. Okay? Okay? Because that's northern and southern kingdom, and they not there now. What you have over there now is Edomites. And you got Edomites squaring off against Persians, where either other Edomites saying they go be involved. You saw Putin saying that, so you got America now in the midst, and it's costing them billions of dollars to run this thing because they intercepting missile systems and things that another that is being thwarted by about $35,000 fucking drone setups that they can't tell which is which and what's not, is starting to get through and penetrate and hit some of everything. So now these people over there, that Iron Dome that they thought they paid for with billions of dollars funded by the U.S., is now running out of supplies. It's like, they only had it's like a gun that's only got 6 shots in it. Once you shot all 6 shots, you got to reload. And America don't have the budget to reload that, or the ability to manufacture all that stuff in an exponential time frame to be able to do these things. So this is running out on them. So let me get another video, and I'm gonna end it with a couple of scriptures after I let that play.
באיראן אנחנו ממשיכים בתקיפת מערכי הליבה של המשטר והשמדת יכולותיו. הלילה מטוסי קרב תקפו את המפקדה הראשית של הנהגת המשטר בטהרן. Partners. We are partners.
Stop that right there because everybody knows that that's a lie. Okay, we was reporting on that. What do you think the BRICS nation started as? Brazil, Russia, Iran, China. Okay, as being those people that was in the mix of it. Okay, so who y'all think that was? Okay, like the Saudis don't want no parts of it. That's why they willing to sell their oil to anybody that's backing their money with gold. So America doesn't back their money with gold now, so they're not in that mix any longer. Okay, they haven't bagged their precious metal. They haven't bagged their money with a precious metal since the 60s, the late 60s or so, you know, early 70s, when Henry Kissinger negotiated the OPEC nations to prop up the U.S. dollar by having them have to go get the U.S. dollar to buy oil. So this thing that they got going on over there is basically this scripture here in a nutshell. Let me get this real quick, and I'm gonna end it on this one. Let me get this. This is going to be what is that? 14. Not the one I want. My bad. My bad. I don't know what the heck I was just thinking. It won't make me even go there. Um, okay. Second Ezra 15:14. Woe to the world then that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Swords just mean military might in some of these things. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, shall not be able, for because of the pride of the cities and the trouble, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses. Uh, uh, shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Uh, so there's going to be sedition among men. And this is Edomite squaring off against Edomite with Persian in the middle of it, with Moabites in the middle of it, and all these different nationalities of people being drawn into it. This is what's going to be drawn into the Valley of Jehoshaphat. And now you got the U.S. military being told, commanders are telling their troops that this is divine intervention to jumpstart the holy war and all this other kind of stuff and blah blah blah. So this is an exciting time. This man's reign is coming to an end, and the people that don't want to see it and don't want to wrap their head around it, they gonna be caught in the dark when this shit hits their shores. Okay, because all that craziness that's over there in them other countries is going to hit America. Okay, the famine, the lack of bread, the lack of money, the inability to be able to feed oneself, and this, that, and other. And what happens when there's no grocery stores to even go to be able to get food? What you think is going to happen then? People go take to the streets and whatnot. People go have families to feed, children that they have to feed, and this, that, and other. So they go take to the streets trying to get it by any means necessary, and it's going to get crazy out here. So if you're not in that know and understanding that, then you're going to get caught with your, as they say, caught with your drawers down when this shit hits. So, what is that? Let me get this one. This will be the last one I ended on. Psalms. No, not Psalms. Not Psalms. Yeah, 33. Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, the strength of salvation, the fear of Yahweh is his treasure. So the people that understand this and understand that all this is part of the will of the who the world English calls God, which his name is Yahweh. This is his will for this to come down the pipe this way. Okay. And his men that's in the mix and in the know is going to understand this. And he says he's going to make a way for them to get through that. Okay, even if it winds up ending on them getting their heads chopped off or whatever, because there's going to be martyrs in the process, but they're not going to be afraid of it in the process. So I hope, for the hopeful elect's sake, that, like I said, you prayed up, you pray, you ask the Lord to forgive you, give you the strength of mind and character, integrity to be able to go through whatever it is He's gonna put you through, and bring glory to Him, to Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shah. Okay, in that order, uh, being a man that stood 10 toes down and stood so stiffly per the scriptures for the Lord and His Son Yahweh Shai. So with that, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Again, for the hopefully like a hearty shalom, and for the rest of the world, a Baba Ball.